What's up, YouTube land? Zeno Gaming back with episode number 15 of my F1 2020 career mode. Here today with episode number 15 around the Belgian Grand Prix around the Spa-Francorchamps circuit, one of the best tracks on the calendar by popular belief. So anyway, moving into this episode, we're coming off our best result of the year at the Hungarian Grand Prix, where we picked up our first career podium, and now we move forward here to Spa, hoping for similar fortune. I don't know if we have that kind of pace, especially on a track like Spa. We got very lucky with how circumstance and the safety car played out with some of the poor strategy from some of the top teams around Spa, and we did have good pace in Hungary. We did have good pace there, but it wasn't podium pace. It was just very lucky though. We were able to get that podium, but still, it's a good start for us for our first career podium. Moving into this track, a power track, which should suit our car with the Mercedes engine. These two next races here in Belgium and Monza, so looking forward to it. It should be good for us. Anyway, we'll move on into the episode now, into qualifying. So here you can see first run in Q1, and we'll come across the line. A little bit of a bad exit out of the final corner, but that's okay. And we are just quicker than our teammate Schumacher, slower than Magnussen. Second run on the same set of tyres, and I always fuel up for 2 flying laps with a cool down lap in between. And you can see once again not getting the best exit out of the bus stop chicane, but we improved the time to go ahead of the Haas cars and the Gasly. And now new set of tyres here for the end of Q1. You can see we're improving, and we're currently in 17th place, so we need this lap to go through to Q2 as we come across the line, and we just about make it through to Q2 with finishing there in 15th place. So not bad to go through to Q2. Unfortunately, our teammate once again Schumacher knocked out here in Q1 along with Esteban Ocon, which was a surprise. But Schumacher just bowled to beat both the Haas cars with Grosjean, Magnussen, and then Russell and Latifi also being knocked out. But Ocon, a bit of a surprise knockout here in Q1 today, so that's unfortunate for him, and he's going to have a difficult time of things to get into the points tomorrow for Sunday. So yeah, good opening session for us here, and hopefully we can carry this momentum into Q2. I don't think Q3 is on the cards. We don't seem to have the same pace we had around Hungary. As here we go, first set of tyres here in Q2, as we now come once again through the bus stop chicane, hoping for a better exit this time. It's a very tricky corner to get the traction out of as we get the run to the line now. And we were 16th fastest in our first run, as you can see now. But now we're going to show our second lap here in Q2 in full, as we now come into the first corner of our source, and exit of the corner very critical, as this is full throttle all the way to Lacombe as you come through Eau Rouge and Radion, coming now down the Camel Straight. And it's very close with our first sector time, so we're going to have to gain, we're down slightly here, so we're going to have to gain our time in the second half of the lap, or the second and third sectors of the lap. And this is where you can make the difference through the corners, as we now come into turn 8. This is a tricky corner, got the inside right locking, and now trying to get back to all the way to the right, back to the left, trying to get the power as early as possible. As now the run to pull on, you're going to be brave at this corner this year. You can't go flat quite in this car, one shift down, as now we come to this right left chicane. This has always been a tricky corner, this especially the left one, because you can't use too much curb because the back end wants to step out like it is there. But we put the power down with confidence, it's going to stick, as now we come down the back straight. And it hasn't been a bad lap so far, but we're not improving by a heap, and it doesn't look like we're going to be influencing today Q3 as we now come into the bus stop chicane, looking for just after the 100 meter board, right on the 100 meter board actually, early turn in, using all that inside curb. And it's not a bad lap, probably our best lap in qualifying, but it's only good enough for 16th place on the grid, which is unfortunate, but that's how it goes. in these sessions. So, also knocked out in Q2 is Carlos Sainz, Daniel Kvyat, Pierre Gasly, Kimi Raikkonen, Antonio Giovinazzi, and ourselves. So, a bit unfortunate, but that's how qualifying is. That's probably where the pace of the car is. We're probably not too much better than where we've put ourselves. So we've probably outperformed the car. Probably Ocon should probably be in Q2 instead of us, but we'll take that, and we'll move into this Grand Prix. I think we can score points if we have a good start and stay out of trouble and have a good clean race, and also some strategy will come into it. So let's everybody get ready for the Belgian Grand Prix.
We're in Belgium once again for today's round of the Formula One World Championship. It's a race the great Ayrton Senna won 6 times, and in 2019, Charles Leclerc became the first driver to take their maiden win here since Michael Schumacher in 1992. Spa-Francorchamps then, a historic 19-corner circuit with a lap distance of 4.35 miles. There's over 100 meters of elevation change here, and with long stretches of the lap spent flat out, a good top speed will be vital for success. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
There are 3 main things to worry about there, Crofty. Positioning, awareness and discipline. First, you have to put your car in a bit of space and make sure you have room to react to what the others are doing. Then you have to watch your mirrors and listen to the sounds around you to get a sense of where everyone is. And finally, just don't get too greedy. Just because a gap exists doesn't always mean you should go for it.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Vettel, Max Verstappen, and Ricciardo, Perez, Albon, Stroll, and Lando Norris. Sainz, Gasly, Kimi Raikkonen, and Giovinazzi. The captain, Ocon, Mick Schumacher, and Roman Grosjean. Magnussen, Russell, Latifi, and Daniel Kvyat completes the grid. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Let's see if we can keep the momentum up. Let's get another podium.
So welcome everybody here today to the Belgian Grand Prix, a straightforward one-stop strategy, soft to mediums. So that is good, and hopefully today we can have a strong race. So looking forward to it. I think we can have a strong race with our power unit, and we can be in the hunt for a points finish. Not expecting a high points finish, but a points finish I think we do have the pace for here today. As we get ready, as the 5 red lights start here in Belgium, revs rise around as we get ready for the start of this Grand Prix. Let's go here in Spa, and a lot of smoke ahead from Kimi Raikkonen, a lot of wheel spin. We get straight past him and his teammate Giovinazzi, and we up the inside of Kvyat here into turn 1, and actually is that Gasly, sorry. And now we're rubbing wheel to wheel with Pierre Gasly, and he's got a great accident. Here comes both the Alpha cars around the outside, so I didn't realise 4 wide. They're trying to go 3 wide through there. Gasly's out of the throttle. We have taken avoiding action. Raikkonen and Giovinazzi playing chicken. Somebody's in the wall. It's Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton in the wall. Unbelievable scenes here. Lewis Hamilton has crushed at Eau Rouge on the opening lap. He's in a championship fight with his teammate. This is going to be huge implications for Hamilton. Here's a replay of the start. Here's Hamilton going side by side with one of the Ferraris. I believe that is Sebastian Vettel. Yes, it is. As they come down through Eau Rouge and Radion, and he just loses the car, and he's into the barrier. So a big mistake from Lewis Hamilton, and we'll go on board to see more of the story here. And here it is side by side with Vettel. Vettel's got the run on him, so this is where Hamilton should probably back out. He's over the curb. He's trying to go around the outside. He has a little bit of contact, and he just loses the car. Doesn't have the grip at that high speed with that contact, and he's out of the Grand Prix. Virtual safety car deployed. That's now over with, and we pick up the action here through Pillon, and we go off the track, make a mistake following the turbulent air of Giovinazzi, and Gasly gets through, and we make a slight bit of contact there, hopefully no damage. So we're now off into the gravel. This has been a disastrous second half to lap, and we're down here in 16th place. We started from 15th after Kvyat's penalty. So really disappointing how now Ocon, we're behind him, and he's having a look at our teammate Schumacher. We're getting a great slipstream here after both of them, and Ocon, he's going to look to the outside, Schumacher the fence to the inside. We're going to be late on the brakes, going to go down the inside of both of them. Mick leaves us the room there, and now we're going to leave us the room. We're rubbing with our teammate here, and we're side by side. I think we've got the move done on Ocon, as now we use overtake mode down to turn 1, side by side with Mick Schumacher into turn 1, and we outbrake him, and now can take the line of the apex without him getting a switchback on us. So move back here into 14th place. A hectic opening lap for the Belgian Grand Prix, but now it's not over yet because they're right behind us here is our teammate, and we're going to have to go maybe defensive. Yes, we're definitely going defensive here. Ocon going to pick up a slipstream as well, but Mick's to our outside. There's contact there as well. Once again, we're almost off the track. We managed to hold on, as now we move to lap 5 in this Grand Prix. Ocon has gotten past, Mick has fallen back, and we're chasing the back of Pierre Gasly, who's behind Giovinazzi, and Gasly is making a move on Antonio. He goes down the inside. Can we also make a move on Giovinazzi? We're not brave enough to stick my car there, and Giovinazzi gets the job done, so good work from him, as Kvyat is going into combat with Grosjean behind, I believe, and making the move done. So now next lap, Gasly's pulled away from Giovinazzi. Now we're going to put him under pressure with DRS. He defends to the inside, we go to the outside, and we're ahead by the time we hit the brakes, and we're able to take the line of the corner with no effect. And now we're going to chase down Pierre Gasly here as on the next lap, lap 7, and we're very close to the back of the AlphaTauri driver, as now we're going to open the DRS. We're going to go to the inside as he leaves the door open, and we pull alongside and ahead in the braking zone, and we make the move stick as Carlos Sainz is having a fight with Kimi Räikkönen up ahead. Next lap, lap 8, we're coming in this lap for a new set of tyres. You can see Sainz peels off into the pits, as well as a Racing Point car of Sergio Perez. We peel off ourselves for the medium tyre. So it's a critical stage of this Grand Prix in terms of strategy and how it's all going to work out. We're going to get an undercut on a few blokes ahead, on a few drivers ahead, I should say, but not sure how it's all going to pan out, and not sure where we sit in this Grand Prix at this stage. As we come out behind Sainz, there's Albon. He's on the hard tyres. He pitted a bit earlier in this race. He's coming out just ahead of Carlos Sainz, so Albon in an interesting position. We caught him and Sainz by the end of the lap. Few cars in the pits now, including our teammate, and in Lance Stroll as well in the pit lane, as he's going to come out right there. Albon goes past. We're trying to get on the throttle, get past, but Stroll, up to speed, and he's ahead here on lap 10 as we sit in 13th place, and now we're chasing down Stroll for 12th place, which is where our sponsor objective is for that extra money for the gold bonus. But Stroll's having a look straight away. Alexander Albon, he's got a great run down the straight. Sainz even having to defend to the inside from Albon. Stroll backs out of it. Albon can't get past Carlos. Just he's going to have a look around the outside here, maybe into turn 8. He's not close enough. We're going to go and attack Stroll around the outside. Can we go all the way around side? No, we cannot. And we slot back in behind the Canadian. So we now move to lap 15. Carlos has stayed ahead of Alexander Albon. Now Stroll's having an attack. Carlos is actually battling his teammate Lando Norris. But we are just following here, and we're getting a great opportunity as Stroll slow through the right-hander, but we can't make him pay. And now we're defending from Räikkönen, who's getting himself involved in this battle. We're now sitting in 11th place after all the pit stops have played out. So we have one more spot here to gain 4 points. So like I said, I thought we could be in the battle for points. Once again, Stroll having a go at the bus stop chicane. This time he's got the inside line for the left-hander, and he has the DRS as well here for the main straight. Can Stroll get ahead? He's nose ahead into turn 1. It's going to be very difficult. Albon has the inside position for La Source, and Albon's going to maintain that track position. Can Stroll maintain and be side by side through Eau Rouge? He can't. He slots in behind. He's going to have to think about it up the hill until they come. But once again, he pulls out now. He's back in the slipstream. He's not going to get the best run through Eau Rouge. We've got a cracking run here compared to Lance Stroll. We pull out alongside and we open the DRS. We've got a cracking run to Albon. We just have a car's width of space to get around the outside. Stroll gets past Albon as well. So Albon loses 2 positions. We gain 2 positions up to 9th place. That's really worked out for us here with 6.5 laps to go in this Grand Prix. As now we're going to defend here on lap 19 from Lance Stroll, and he's got the DRS. We defend to the inside here, and we're able to hold on through Les Combes. So it's been a fantastic Grand Prix. The midfield battle has been awesome. We pulled away from Stroll and out of that DRS threat. Kind of in the last couple of laps, we didn't have the pace to catch Norris, who was passed by his teammate Sainz. So we come across the line to finish P9 here today at the Belgian Grand Prix.
What a great race then, and what a magnificent victory here at the Belgian Grand Prix. And talk to me, what do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
I'd say it was down once again to good, consistent driving, nailing the corners, working to the track conditions, and perfecting the team's strategies. They got all of these things right today, and the results speak for themselves.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes. Let's see how the driver standings have changed. More points for Valtteri Bottas, further solidifying his lead at the top of the table. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
I have to give it to the captain. They demonstrated a very delicate touch in close proximity to other cars, as well as showing a lot of maturity and patience in difficult situations.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. The current championship leaders still hold top spot, but that gap is getting smaller. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
So that was your Belgian Grand Prix here today, guys, with Valtteri Bottas taking the win and putting 25 points on his teammate Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton crushing out here today in Spa on the first lap, which is unbelievable. Our teammate Schumacher finishes down in 18th place and cannot beat Kevin Magnussen. He does beat Grosjean, but nowhere near the points today. We pick up 2 points, which is okay. It's not spectacular, but it's where we expect to kind of be in that kind of area. So not going to complain with 2 points at all. So decent race for us here today. Leclerc finishing second, beating his teammate Vettel to third, with Verstappen in fourth. So yeah, good race overall. We scored points. That's the aim, just to finish inside the top 10 really, and we did that today. So fantastic result, and hopefully we can carry this momentum we've gathered over the last 2 Grand Prix into Monza, which will be really important for us. It's a big Grand Prix in terms of straight line speed and slipstreaming, and it's going to be really interesting to see what happens there. But yeah, overall good performance today, and we move forward now here into a bit of development on the car, and we're going to purchase a power upgrade. It won't come for the car for Monza, but we need this. This is a major component for engine power, and if you want to keep up, you can see we're the worst of the Mercedes and Ferrari powered cars. We have the Renault and Honda powered cars beat, but we're the worst of the Mercedes and Ferrari powered cars, so we need to do a little bit better in that area. But anyway, guys, I hope you all enjoyed today's video here. Please leave a like if you did enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel for plenty more F1 2020 content. And until the next video, which will be at the Italian Grand Prix for Monza, till then, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.